Ooh. Hello everyone, I'm Ethan McKinley. This is the 2-Minute Terminator, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. Oh, nice.
I'm Ellie Fitzgerald.
Across from me is Ellie Fitzgerald.
And across from me is
Ethan McKinley.
Hey.
This is episode 51. We're going from minutes 102 to 104, the 2 minutes bridging that gap. And this is the second time we've done this show, because we just did an amazing 35-minute show. The best one we've done for a long time, actually, and then realised the machine didn't actually register it because the freaking...
damn you, Skynet!
The SD card in the recorder was locked as I shoved it in the machine.
I think what it is Skynet knows that we're mocking it for its lax approach to surveillance.
It's probably Sony Pictures. They don't like us shitting on the
Terminators.
movies. I already went after the all-female Ghostbusters, and now I'm going after after Terminator. They just can't seem to get it right.
Nope.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I can't. A bit gassy. The bumper music, if you can just about hear in the background, is James Horner's Alien soundtrack from 1986.
So good. God rest your soul, James Horner. We miss you.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he died last year. Was it last year?
In a plane.
Oh, God.
He hit the ground, and we have to hit the music.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
You didn't do the fourth. Thank God. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked.
Yes, we're back. It is the show where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. Not like all the other minute shows. You get an extra minute on the house for free.
What are the bookends, Ethan?
The bookends, basically,
Not
as it skips
basically.
through. Hang on.
What are the bookends actually?
It's John Connor punching the Terminator in the face until he's like, ooh, grabs your wrist, and he does that classic last actually seen a couple of months ago in the Batman and Superman movie where someone's arm or fist from a punch is stopped by their opponent and they go, and they look at their hand. We should never do that.
It's the struggle for control, isn't
You
it?
just react immediately and go, get off me! And you'd pull a stupid face, like I would. And it ends with Christian Bale being confronted by the dulcet tones of Carl Reese, a.k.a. Anton Yelchin, and discovering, whoops, it's the Terminator.
It's the Terminator.
So yeah, if you've not seen the show before, we do talk about the Terminator films. We watch 2 minutes of it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and hopefully entertain you and make you laugh
And
a little
hopefully
bit.
this time it will record.
Hopefully this time it is. If you are listening to this, it all worked out, and we lived happily ever after.
And if not, and if we have to make a third attempt, I'm going to punch Ethan in the face.
No, I think we just quit for a couple of days, and I'll fix this SD card.
Fix the goddamn card!
If you want to actually follow along with the clip we're talking about, if you're not going to do that, we're at the 1 hour 2 minute mark to the 1 hour 4
Do
minute
follow along though,
mark.
because Ethan
The 2
puts
minutes
together a
bridging that
beautiful
gap.
video.
Yes, the video. If you go to our channel, 2 Minute Terminator on YouTube, you can actually watch the clip on repeat as we talk about it with a bit of, a still from the movie and a lovely little frame set in that of the clip on repeat as we talk about it, so you can follow along at home.
As I did say in the previous episode, which I'm not joking was actually amazing, I even congratulated Ethan on his performance after, and then we discovered it hadn't recorded. Or I just heard Ethan go, Ellie, and I was like, oh no, what's happened?
I know we have to get you on a train, don't we?
As I did say in the previous recording, I really enjoy this 2 minutes and the next 2 minutes, as I have the previous 2 minutes, because it is so much like the old movies.
It's set in a factory.
Yeah.
They're being chased by a Terminator.
Yeah.
The sparks.
Yeah.
There's strobe lighting.
Oh yeah.
A bit of smoke.
Sounds like fabric. It does. I can imagine some mad drum and
Fabric's
bass.
awful though.
Oh, I used to have the most amazing time at Fabric.
Not-
To be fair,
I'm
haven't been
not
in
xenophobic
years.
in any way, but I think because Fabric is a mainstream nightclub in London, and everyone, I guess, in Europe has heard of it. Everyone from Europe comes to it, and you get a mixed bag of people.
It depends what
And
night. It depends what night you go
smells
on.
of like human feces in there, but like people just.
But no, every nightclub kind of smells like that after the smoking ban.
No, I just think some people think, oh, I'm in a crowd, I can just fart all I want.
If you
And
think about it, though, when you're really high on whatever, you do become a bit more gassy. Ethan, you get gassy when you douche, and you douche every single day.
But I've never been in a club that's like fabric ever before or since.
Really?
Yeah, when somebody just like drops their guts in the middle of a crowd.
I don't ever remember having that. I mean, I did see someone get stabbed in fabric on the dance floor.
Like a T850 power cell blowing up.
And did you ever see anyone get dragged off into that lift by the Polish bouncers and you never saw them again?
No.
Yeah, I saw some pretty horrific things at fabric, which might be the reason why I'm.
John is seen placing Ellie about 40 seconds into this. He pops this little device on the wall basically as he watches Marcus and Terminator fight. Why he doesn't intervene and just shoot the Terminator and get Marcus away from him?
Well, because he's using Marcus as a decoy, Lois. Decoys.
But wouldn't he have thought up to this point that Marcus has been good on his word? He's found Skynet.
Dude,
Marcus
it's bullshit
is here.
bail. He doesn't give a fuck.
Marcus has just saved his life again. One from the Hydro Terminators, the Hydrobots.
Do you not think that sounds a little bit like RoboCop?
In the fact that it's got this semi-industrial sound to it, like hammerers and hammers. I was gonna say hammering. I was like, hello, hammers. I'm
The
from
Harrow Club
Bristol.
on Saturday.
Is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Harrow Club on Saturday? Yeah. What's this thing he's putting on the wall? I don't know what it is.
Oh, Ethan, thank you so much.
Oh.
Ethan thought it might be
I
some
actually
kind
do
of
know, 'cause we
detonation
covered this. I'm trying to do a repeat
device.
of the last episode.
But as I had studied this clip in minute detail, it's actually kind of like
A signal disruptor.
Yeah, so basically what happens is... Oh, I just said basically. Balls! When the T-800 is done with Marcus, he's shed his load.
Marcus, I know that we're done.
The Terminator then starts tracking John Connor's whereabouts, and he thinks that he's locked onto his location. And as he turns around the corner, he goes, "Error, destination unknown." Unknown. That's not Destination Calabria. Destination. Did you ever see that music video?
There's the Destination Unknown song from Top Gun.
Oh no, it's completely different to that.
Destination Unknown. It's one of the worst ones on the
Wow,
soundtrack.
that was uncanny.
In fact, I think it's so bad. I think it.
Why
just
did your
plays...
music career never kick off?
I don't. I don't have any talent in that area. Weirdly though, all the people.
You'd be a great front man.
All the
None
people.
of them can sing.
All the people I know that could help me in any kind of artistic endeavor are in the
the music business.
The music business. I know loads of record producers. I know freaking Mark Shaman, for God's sake, world famous film composer of such things as Misery and Few Good Men and stuff and blah de blah and freaking Hairspray, for God's sake. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is now playing still in the West End.
West End.
I know all those kind of people. RuPaul.
Oh
anyone
my
connected
God.
to music, I know, but they can't help me in either podcasting
This was
or
amazing,
acting.
actually. When we went to Forbidden Planet yesterday, we walked in and all of a sudden they started playing the RuPaul album. I was like, oh my God.
Which one of you goths has put this on?
It was amazing. I was like strutting around the store going, "Cover girl, put some bass in your walk. Head to toe, let your whole..." And Ethan was definitely shimmying around and shaking his
I think I was just trying to get away from
tail feathers. Whatever, you were
ruin
loving it.
Ruin my geek cred.
I raised your geek cred. Did you see the caliber of chicks in there?
Now, you asked me in the last episode, Ellie, do you think Marcus and the T-800 are an equal match in terms of Terminator?
I did.
Now, not the episode we just did and failed at, the one we actually have put out, which was Tuesday's episode.
I did ask the question, who is the strongest out of the two, yes.
I thought at the time I would have said the Terminator slightly because they're different robots for different things. Yes, Marcus is half human, of course, but he's the Terminator.
And he has his own...
USP.
Yes,
Unique
and what does that
selling
mean?
point,
Woo!
which is infiltration. So much so, maybe he doesn't even know he's an infiltrator of any description. What do you think now?
I think the T-800 is ever so slightly stronger because when it comes down to
I'd say a lot stronger.
Yeah. Well, no, not a lot stronger because it gets to that point where it's just kind of... I was about to say man-to-man. Machine-to-machine combat.
Man-to-man parish.
It's... Yes. I was a stripper in a pickup bar. Which is quite similar to this actual scene. It's all kind of steel milly. We work hard, we play hard. Yeah, when they're kind of... It's just like brute strength. They're kind of at a standstill. The T-800 is actually able to push Marcus right back and then throws him to the floor and then proceeds to pick up the big concrete block, which Ethan has some trivia on.
I do. Although I think I've just deleted it by accident and put it onto a thing. Right, no, during the encounter with the... By the way, You are familiar with this piece of trivia because I've said it for the last 20,000 episodes by accident.
But the time is now, Ethan. Enjoy your moment. Take the stage.
Now. I've just lost it again. During the final encounter rally, the T-800 picks up a concrete block and repeatedly bashes it into Marcus's chest. This, of course, is reminiscent of the scene in Terminator 2, 1991, where the T-1000 uses the steel girder in a similar manner on the T-800 Arnold Schwarzenegger version's head and crushing his head and chest area.
This is true. Although the way that the Terminator just punched Marcus Wright in the heart, it kind of looked like the alien mouth that comes out and goes...
It does.
It really does. I literally just thought that. I also thought it was a bit weird that Marcus is just kind of stood there just taking a beat. He is half human, but he is also half machine. The T-800 does stop for a moment as he's surveilling Marcus's body and then finds that there's actually a human heart in there.
Well, you asked in the episode we didn't record that, like, why is he not fighting back? But I think because he is half human. And
he's just going, ah, ah. It's like, you're not going to scream him to death,
He's been thrown around that. Yeah, but I think that's just the actor's choice. He does that a lot in this film. Like, he goes, ah, ah. Doesn't he?
It's because he can't convey emotion on his face.
What are you talking about? Hooking into a mainframe computer he can. So like, forget Laurence Olivier.
Forget Lawrence. Never forget Lawrence. And then Lawrence. I did say in the one that wasn't recorded how I thought it'd be really funny if when the T-800 found Marcus Wright's heart, all of a sudden he was just like gonna fall in love with him, and it was gonna be like the moment where Moonface goes, "Oh my God, you've got such a strong heartbeat."
But he starts playing Moon. Was it not Moon River? Dreamweaver.
Dreamweaver.
Oh, Dreamweaver.
And they were gonna just skip off and go, "Fuck this."
'Cause we're a ship of fools.
That is, we built this city on rock and roll. And yeah, we thought it'd be a really nice little ending if they just skipped out like Morecambe and Wise going, "Bring me sunshine in your smile." I reckon that'd have been really good. Maybe they should have done like 3 different endings to this film.
I think you can cut this in with
was a
Nightmare
gay
on Elm Street.
Terminator. What?
I think you can cut this in with Nightmare on Elm Street because there's that weird boiler room area with the fire coming out, the skeleton eyes in the boiler.
Which actually leads really nicely onto your thought in the non-recorded episode.
Well, no, we were saying because we like this scene because they've kind of got the Terminator character a bit right in terms of the robot version of him, that it won't stop until it completes its mission.
Will not stop.
And even if its head's been torn off, if it's still working somehow, it will figure out a way of like pulling its head along just to like headbutt you or fall off a building and hit you.
But then you did mention about the fact that with this, they've kind of lost that kind of scary kind of feel.
Well, the first Terminator film has a horror element to it that it's unstoppable, and I think
as the films have progressed, they've lost that.
Well, no, because the second one still had that horror element, even more so. Because even watching that film, I still remember the first time going, "How the fuck are you gonna stop this thing? Nothing can stop it."
I still found the first one more scary because when
they're being chased by a puddle.
They're being chased by the blob. No, but I still think Terminator 1 is way more scarier than Terminator 2.
Oh, no, I think 2's scarier. In terms of how do we stop the Terminator?
Yeah, but at least there's another Terminator to kind of combat that. In the first one, it's humans.
I think because
against the Terminator. And when he kind of goes all like zombie-like and he's... I don't know.
As an image, it's cool. But I think because you're more invested in on board with the story, for me, anyway, in Terminator 2, you're more invested in the characters. You feel more peril for them. Therefore, I think I get more stress.
I still think they could have made this more scary, say like with Aliens.
They could have.
Or Alien.
The way to go with the Terminator film is to make it a horror film with sci-fi elements or a suspense thriller, and I think they've got away from that in every single one of these. With this, especially when they had this $200 million budget, as I mentioned in the last episode, this at the time is still one of the most expensive films ever made.
Ever.
Why they thought that was a good idea, I don't know, because you don't really see it on screen at all, do you?
No.
There's no like grand like battles or vistas. You don't see like multiple Terminators running around shooting people. There's not even like anything like the start of Terminator 2, which is a rear projection screen of the people shooting the HKs, and then you see like John Connor for the first time with the scars on his face. Something they repeat in this film. But the Terminator has this like, not greatly, but you get the sense that this thing's just going to keep going and they can't stop it, and it has that kind of like dispatch people as quickly as possible. My only contention is, wouldn't he have just tried to punch right through Marcus's body and tear the heart out?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Which brings me on to, it wouldn't damage the box office by making Terminator a horror film, because you wouldn't have to really put gore in it. You just need to make it scary and unstoppable.
Yeah, like get atmosphere. Again, that whole idea of just using your mind, your imagination,
Exactly.
music, which then brings us on to ratings of scary movies.
What we did last episode, which blew up, and we didn't. Hopefully, this is recorded, by the way. How many scary PG films there are? And there's quite a lot.
But we
Gremlins.
also discovered that a lot of them aren't actually that scary.
Well, you know what? In England, Gremlins was a 15.
Really?
Yeah. I think because people die and it's quite violent, even though it's kind of like Gremlins and stuff. People do die. Yeah, yeah. That little gremlin. Yeah, yeah.
I like the one that's playing the saxophone, or is that in 2?
They're singing their own song. No, it's no. They're all. It's from the first one in that bar.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a flasher,
that's it.
the workout one.
Yeah.
The blues one.
He's my favourite. But yeah, Ethan, please do run through these PG movies.
Poltergeist was a PG. I was shocked by that.
I was shocked by that.
The man
I was also
tears his own
shocked.
face off and throws it in a sink.
I was also shocked that Salem's Lot was in there.
Salem's Lot was a TV movie though, and to be fair, Salem's Lot isn't.
Oh, is that not the film with oh God, who's in it?
James Mason.
James
Mr.
Mason.
Barlow.
Mr. Barlow.
He is coming. He'd love to meet you. My voice, as James Mason, as I am James Mason, I sound like I'm constantly trying to shit in my own pants, in the poshest, most clippy voice possible, while being completely condescending.
So
Like
it's kind of
that.
like a posh strain.
Yes, I'm on the toilet right now. My name
Whilst
is James
wearing a monocle.
Mason. Monocle.
With his pinky up.
Jaws is scary. That's a PG.
Ethan did also tell me about Tourist Trap, which I am going to have to watch now because it does look quite scary. It does. I think it's all the kind of like puppets and things like that. And I then did go on to start talking about Criminal Minds, which is this really awesome TV show.
You said one particular episode.
Yeah.
You're delivering this like you're trying to remember it yourself. Just pretend the audience doesn't know we fucked up the last
Oh, I know,
episode.
totally. No, there's this one episode of Criminal Minds, which is about the BAU, who are a behavioural analysis unit, and they study serial killers, rapists, paedophiles, and they try and understand their psychology so that they can actually kill these people.
What's a rapist? A rap enthusiast?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Common's in this. This particular episode, this guy, his parents, well, his dad ran this kind of puppet show, and one night this gunman comes in and kills all of his parents and all the people in there, and this little boy just gets left, like just to kind of look after himself. As he gets older, later in life, he has some kind of psychological break. I can't remember what the trigger is, but what he does is he then creates his own human puppet show, and he starts kidnapping people. He then injects them with liquid ketamine, breaks every bone in their body, and turns them into these real-life Marie Antoinette dolls, and then puts on this puppet show in front of a real-life audience who have no idea that these puppets are actually people, because they've got these masks on, and that's what made me think of the Tourist Trap, because they look exactly like that.
And he breaks every bone in the body.
So that they're all completely like malleable and movable and all that rubbish. The thing that they end up catching the murderers because they find a couple of bodies that have been like disposed of because they've undergone such horrific physical like torture. They've died, and they're like, oh well, we can't use this one, on to the next. But it's really, really good, really psychologically messed up. I love it. Ethan, you should watch it.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 1978 version with Donald Sutherland and Jeff
Yeah, that
Goldblum.
freaked
That's
the
a PG.
That freaked the shit out of me.
That's all atmosphere, though, isn't it?
And-
Well, when
and-
he hits himself in the head with a spade.
And I watched it by myself, and I was 26, and I was like, Ethan, this is weird. But there's that amazing scene at the very end where he does the famous point. Amazing. And the bit with the
Twilight Zone,
dog,
the
the bit
movie?
with the dog with the man's face.
You thought that was funny, though.
That was hilarious.
Oh, that freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah, but I watched it last year.
The dog because it messes up the
With
mix
the hobo,
of the
yeah.
hobo and his dog, and they fuck it up, and he's got the man's head. Yeah,
That was
it's weird.
hilarious. Watching that now, though, you must find that pretty funny.
No, it still freaks me out. It's like eating
A
something
dog
horrible
with a
as
man's face.
Yeah, it's like if you have a bad food experience, if you eat something, you throw up and you don't want to eat the food again, and eating it just takes you back there. The same way you don't like peas.
Yeah, I don't
Why
like
can't you get
peas.
over eating peas? Because it's
Because of-
something from your childhood.
It's the texture.
I'm the same with the hobo with the dog's man's face. Whatever.
The dog's man's face. Yes. So what other films?
Twilight Zone, the movie? That's fucked up. With it in the plane with John Lithgow at the end. That's scary
Hocus
as fuck.
Pocus. How is that even PG? That should just be like normal.
Because I just typed in scary PG movies, it's put in like the kids kind of like scary stuff.
And
but
Casper, what?
Like, again, that's kids
That should
scary.
be but that should be universal. It's not scary at all.
I imagine
He's a
Poltergeist.
friendly ghost.
Poltergeist was PG.
We will come back to Terminator, I promise.
Well, no, because Steven Spielberg. Poltergeist is PG. I guess the only thing you could. That's because of Spielberg's power in Hollywood. That should have been an R-rated movie, I think.
I think Jaws should be at least a 15. That bit at the beginning when they find that man in the boat and his head bobs out and he's all like bloated.
In the 70s and early 80s,
Jesus
you
Christ,
had
that scared the hell out
in
of
the
me.
70s and early 80s, I think you had an A picture, which was all for children, like a U you'd have in the UK, and then you had PG and then R, so you only had 3 ratings.
Oh.
So it either would have to be an R or a PG.
Have you spat all over the desk?
Yeah. So there was no middle ground. When Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom came out, Temple of Doom came out, Spielberg directed that again in 1984. 2 years after Poltergeist in 1982, he lobbied for the MPAA, the Motion Picture Association of America, to have an in-between rating, so a kid could be taken to a slightly harder film if they're accompanied by a parent or guardian. So that's what created the PG-13 thing. We had that similarly in England, I think, in 1991, when I think it was Batman was the first 12 movie. And then there was something that came out just after that, but there were 2 films in 1989.
Batman was in 1988. 1989.
It was, but I think 89 was when the 12 came out here. And then we've had an amendment to that since, which is the 12A.
Sorry.
That's right. We've had an amendment to that, which is the 12A, which is like the PG-13. You can go, if you're under 12, you can't see it unless you're accompanied by an adult.
Okay.
So I think that's the reason you got quite a lot of scary movies then that you're like, how the fuck is that a PG? The man rips his face off, or the shark eats that lady, or, you know.
So what was Terminator?
Mr. Frickin' Barlow, for crying out loud, when he pops up in the jail and goes,
Mr. Barlow.
Or the brother that comes back and scratches the window in Salem's Lot.
Oh, that's horrible. That was like the scariest.
That's like you going
me.
to Marty's house. Let me in.
Yeah, but Marty would quite happily
He
let me
commands
in.
it.
Yeah, but Marty would quite happily and willingly let me in.
He wouldn't let you in.
Yeah, of course he would.
No, I think he knows that you fancy him now and he's just playing you.
I don't fancy him. I just want to fuck him. Whoa, Ellie.
PG.
I know, right? So then, anyway, back to Terminator. We've massively digressed. We then see Kyle Reese running out of the steel mill, which I'm just going to call it the steel mill. I fell in love. What was it?
I fell in love with a cowboy man.
No, the man to man.
I used to be a stripper in a pickup bar.
Used to be a stripper. That massively makes me think of this. Yeah, so we see Kyle Reese running out. We see Moonface with some kind of weird adamant, like, predator kind of face paint on. And then, yeah, Kyle Reese runs out and he's going, John Connor's in there! John Connor's in there! And then Bryce, Pigface, looks at him and goes, come with me! And I was like, I wouldn't go with you.
Yeah, I'm not going back in there.
Like, first of all, you're a chick. Have you seen what's in there? Second of all, where's she going to take him?
My only bone of contention again, and I mentioned this before, look, that's the Nightmare on Elm Street boiler thing.
You're only born.
I should cut to a Freddy movie then. Was it 1 minute 38 seconds into the clip? You see the evil eyes of the skull-like...
What is
actually,
that
mate, it's
thing?
more like an evil Thomas the Tank Engine. a satanic Thomas.
Dude, my brother, when he was really young, would literally run from the front room screaming when the trains would pull the angry faces. He was absolute. But then again, Baron was terrified of the Hoover or getting in the bath.
He's like Misty.
Baron had serious issues when he was a kid. He was terrified of everything.
He's like Misty.
Yeah, kind of.
It's abusive father.
But Baron, no, yeah, we got a few licks from my dad when we were young.
She doesn't deny it.
Never for the same thing twice.
Another contention I have with this clip, Ellie. In
Contention,
fact, the
go.
entire film.
Yeah.
Still one of the most expensive films ever made. $200 million for a 4th movie in a franchise. As I mentioned earlier.
$200 million.
Well, when they attack Skynet, where's the air support? Why is there not a giant land, air, and ground battle?
I don't know. And also, you did say previous as well. How come Skynet didn't bomb all the bases?
Well, yeah, because like it bombs Michael Ironside's sub based on that like meme it's planted in the signal as a way of setting everyone up, along with in concert with Marcus Wright infiltrating as a person the human base. It only shows us Michael Ironside being destroyed. We don't see any of the other kind of command ships or anything else bases. If they're all using the same frequency to communicate or have tested it, surely flying HKs would be sent.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
To
there
just destroy
to here
all
to
of
there,
it.
so they wouldn't even be here in the first place. If they did make it to this base, wouldn't Skynet be ready and waiting for them? You'd have flying HKs, you'd have
Lazy
walking
Skynet.
HKs, you'd have at
Lazy.
least, because I said the T-800 is not going into real production yet, there's only one been released to kill Kyle Reese, John Connor and Marcus Wright if he had to, which is happening right now. Why are there no lots of T-600s everywhere? Because they're made and minted and ready to go.
Tardiness.
This is the main hub of where Skynet's like
I know.
one of its
it
R&D
should be-
facilities.
It should be littered.
This is Skynet.
Yeah, I know.
In T2 Battle Across Time, there's Terminators running around the wasteland there, and there's those mini flying HKs. I don't know, they just missed a beat here. They can't have run out of money for crying out loud, surely. Or the director wasn't experienced in this level of like movie making, and therefore he didn't get as much bang for the buck. I don't know, it's really strange to me.
It is strange. People are strange.
But anyway, Ellie, have you got anything else to add? And hopefully
Yes, I
this
do.
worked? Oh.
I just wanted to mention the very end of this 2 minutes, we have yet another pastiche back to Terminator 2, when John Connor hears the voice of his mum going, John! John! And then he runs and he finds her and she's like, come here, John. And then all of a sudden another Sarah Connor pops up behind him. She goes, get down, John! He looks down and he sees that the initial Sarah Connor, aka Mummy, her feet are metal and they're kind of like sinking into the grate. And actually it's the T-1000 emulating his mum. And we see the exact same scene at the end of this 2 minutes when John Connor hears Kyle Reese shouting, help! Help! Although I did have an issue with that because I don't help. I don't remember Kyle Reese actually screaming help. I don't know how the T-800 would have either recorded or been able to emulate his voice, or, as Ethan pointed out, where that sound would actually come from, because he doesn't have any skin, there's no lips, there's no mouth, there's nothing. But yeah, John Connor goes around the corner thinking he's going to find Kyle Reese and actually walks into a T-800.
Walks into a 2-minute Terminator.
Oh, he does.
And now that, like the double of Sarah Connor in Terminator 2, is played by Leslie Hamilton, her twin sister. Linda Hamilton is in fact a twin. And in fact, I've got an album devoted to Leslie Hamilton on the 2-minute Terminator Facebook page, so you can go and check all that out now.
I do think that Linda is the better of the two.
She is.
Yeah. Well done, Linda.
By a country mile. Although I did send Ellie some final pictures of Linda Hamilton the other day.
Oh, God.
I got some of her at her best, smoking hot, and then I sent...
It's like, you know when you see those people that have taken crystal meth and it's just like before crystal meth.
It's a bit messy, wasn't
6 months after crystal meth, 1 year, and
We
then
love you,
5 years, and it's
I
just
don't
like
share
that
the same
slow
opinions that Ellie
demise.
does. By the way, Ellie, in this clip, it's the first Terminator film which doesn't utter the word terminated after killing a Terminator, i.e. your Terminator, which is what Linda Hamilton says, your method.bay, Baron, from the first movie. However, the word Terminator does flash up in the internal processor or visual cortex of the Terminator that's just killed Marcus Wright. After he punches him in the heart, it says terminated within his vision.
Terminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything
And
else?
that's everything.
That is everything. Hopefully this worked. Thank you all for listening. Thank you to all the new listeners and viewers.
Where can you find this show, Ethan?
Oh, I said viewers. You can find us and actually watch the clip we're talking about on repeat.
Please do, Ethan.
As we
Puts a
do
lot of
commentary,
effort
Mystery
into it.
Science Theatre 3K over the actual clips. Please check us out there. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you want, please, I keep forgetting to ask you all this, but can you leave a review on iTunes? Basically, open iTunes with your account and leave a few stars or say this is rubbish or this is good under the show. We don't care what you write. Just write something.
Just write something.
Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.
And we will read it out on the show.
And we'll read it out on the show. We'll give special mention.
What more could you want?
What more could you ask for? Come on.
Anyway,
We should return.
as we sign off and we listen to this beautiful piece of music from James Horner,
Wow.
I've
Timed
been
it again, the exact same thing. How
I
good is
know.
that?
I've been Ellie Fitzgerald.
I've been
across
Ethan
the way.
McKinley. From Ethan McKinley. You're Terminated, Ellie. Forget it.
Soz. Hasta la vista.
Baby. Ow. Just stubbed my toe.
What don't you fucking understand? I'm gonna fucking kick your fucking ass. What don't you fucking understand? I'm gonna fucking kick your fucking ass. What don't you fucking understand? I'm gonna fucking kick your fucking ass.